The payments industry moves fast. The economics behind it move even faster. Welcome to On the Wire, a show about the economics of payments, the institutions moving money, and the infrastructure underneath it all. This episode is produced by payware using AI voice synthesis, built from primary research, technical documentation, and real market data. No studio, no hosts, just the content, clearly presented. Let's get into it.
Every time you swipe your credit card, like for a $100 grocery run, you probably assume the store actually gets those $100. But they don't. A hidden digital toll booth just skimmed off up to $3 before the money ever even hit their account.
Right. It's completely invisible to the consumer.
Exactly. So today we are doing a deep dive into some really fascinating new research from payware on these things called interchange fees. We're on a mission to figure out who is really pocketing that money, how it inflates the prices you pay every single day, and why new instant payment tech might finally just blow this whole system up.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the craziest part of the payware data is that the bulk of that fee isn't even going to the card network, right?
No, it really isn't. I mean, most people just assume Visa or MasterCard takes the whole cut. But the largest chunk of that cost, the actual interchange fee, it flows straight from the merchant's bank over to your bank, like the bank that issued your card.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you're in the US, that fee is completely unregulated for credit cards. It sometimes hits 3% or even higher, which is just wild when you look at Europe. I mean, the sources show that EU actually stepped in and capped that exact same fee. I think it was 0.2 to 0.3%. They basically regulated it down to a tiny fraction, which saves European merchants over 1.5 billion euros every year.
Right, it's a massive difference.
So in the US, I mean, is this basically just a massive digital toll booth that merchants are forced to pay?
Well, it is a toll booth, sure, but it's much more insidious than your standard toll. What's fascinating here is that the fee actually subsidizes the perks on the consumer side.
Wait, so it pays for the rewards?
Exactly. Think of it like a toll booth where the driver, you, gets a free candy bar, like cashback or airline miles, and the destination, the merchant, is legally forced to foot the bill for both the toll itself and your candy.
Oh, wow, okay. But wait, I've always heard these fees are high because credit cards carry so much fraud risk. Are you telling me that's just a cover story to fund my travel points?
Well, the math certainly points that way.
Yes.
You look at actual fraud losses, they hover around 0.05 to 0.15% of total transaction volume.
So nowhere near 3%.
Not even close. That doesn't come close to justifying a 2 or 3% fee. The difference isn't covering risk. It's just funding those rewards programs to keep you swiping and, padding the issuing bank's bottom line.
So it's essentially a circular trap. But why do merchants agree to it? I mean, if a store is losing 3% of its margin just to fund my cashback, why don't they just say no to credit cards?
Because of pure market power. I mean, the networks have created a system where card acceptance is basically mandatory for survival.
Right, because people only want to pay with cards.
Exactly. If a grocer declines major cards, you'll just walk to the competitor across the street. They simply cannot afford the lost sales, so they
just swallow the fee.
Right, they swallow it.
Okay, so if merchants are essentially held hostage by network dominance, how does this ever change? Because the payware article heavily focuses on account-to-account, or A2A payments, as the escape route. But how does that actually break the monopoly mechanically?
By fundamentally changing how the money travels. So traditional card rails involve multiple intermediaries. You have authorizing, batching, clearing, and settling, and this all happens over a period of days.
With everyone taking a little slice of the pie, right?
Precisely. Every middleman takes a cut. But A2A runs on instant payment infrastructure. So things like FedNow in the US or SEPA Instant over in Europe, it moves the money directly from your bank account to the merchant's bank account in seconds.
That is a huge shift.
It is. No card networks, no batching delays, and most importantly, no bloated interchange fees.
And providers like payware are charging a flat 0.5% for this. So what does this all mean for the legacy banks? If I'm a massive bank issuing credit cards, this A2A tech sounds like an existential threat to a major revenue stream.
Oh, it absolutely is. Banks are facing a really harsh strategic ultimatum right now. They could either integrate A2A technology to keep their merchant clients happy, or they can stubbornly defend those lucrative legacy interchange fees.
But if they defend the fees, they lose out completely.
Right. If they do that, third-party fintechs will just bypass them entirely. And then the banks risk losing the merchant's core banking relationship altogether.
And if you are listening right now thinking, well, I don't run a business, I don't really care, you actually are paying for this. Stores have to maintain their profit margins, so that hidden 3% fee is baked directly into the higher prices you pay for literally everything.
Exactly. The cost is socialized across all consumers.
Yep.
You pay the toll whether you use the road or not.
Which brings up a really uncomfortable realization. If A2A payments actually become the new standard and these massive, bloated interchange fees vanish for good, who is going to pay for all those free credit card rewards? Without the toll booth forcing merchants to buy the candy, does the era of the free flight just end?
That's On the Wire, produced by payware, the transaction resolution network for instant A2A payments. This episode was AI generated from payware's published research and documentation. If something sparked a question, the full source material is available at payware.eu. If you work in payments at a bank, an ISV, or a merchant organization, and what you heard is relevant to what you're building, reach out. The conversation doesn't have to stop here. Subscribe to On the Wire wherever you listen to podcasts. The next episode is already waiting.